A week or so ago, I asked my viewers a question, and the question went like this. How do you want to feel in your home as you get older? My thought was to talk about aging in place and what we need in a home by considering the feelings we might want to have as we live in our personal spaces. I promised to report back to you, so here I am. I want to share those comments with everyone. I'm guessing, like me, you're going to see that the community of the Tangerine Door has done a pretty good job of fleshing out the possibilities of aging in place. Actually, thriving in place. I owe that phrase to a viewer too. Yes, thriving in place. What it means to grow older in a home, not just letting the years go by, but feeling alive. I'm going to lay it all out for you. Comments, thoughts, surprises, humor, and some fabulous word pictures. Here goes. There is so much to share here. I know I'll get going and I'll forget to ask you to subscribe. So if you could do that, that would be great. It lets YouTube know that the information we get here and the community we have begun to form is really important. And those are so nice for me personally. And they help me figure out what to plan, consider, put in place in the weeks coming forward. And yeah, I feel very encouraged when I see those. I want to give a shout out to Annie Muse, who came up with the thought for Thrive in Place that I'm using in this video. Here's what she says. I'm 78 and will be planning this Thriving in Place venture as I face the past 60 years together with my husband. Thanks for giving thought to how you'd begin. Less hardware and more heart. It took me a bit to figure out how to present to you all the wonderful things that were in the comments following on the question that I asked, how do you want to feel as you get older in your home? But here's what I came up with. They are our voices, all of our voices, not just my voice. So I'm not going to read them to you. Instead, I created a little montage so you can see them for yourself. And after that, I'm going to highlight a few extra, focus on some of the longer comments, and add some final thoughts myself. Here we are, our shared thoughts about how we want to feel as we get older in our homes. Oh, our joint sparkle brain sparkled when it comes to what we need, what we'd like to have happen as we get older in our homes. So many of us had the same kinds of ideas of what we want when we age in place. Actually, I'm going to start skipping that term. Let's go for Thrive in Place. I just thought that was wonderful. There are a few things that I want to say that came up in the comments that I couldn't quite capture with one word here or there. There was a word that came up repeatedly that I hadn't thought about before, and that was the word peace. Peace. Peaceful. Maybe that's a feeling all of us are after, and it's so here, it's hard to see. but it got my brain cranking a little bit. Let me tell you my thoughts. On the global scale, for me, it means the opposite of all the racket of warring nations, warring ethnic groups, warring religions, the noise, the clatter, the fighting, the arguments. And we have so much of that in the world right now. There's that piece. And then there's the smaller world of the community. My home is, in fact, a block away from the interstate. I can't hear it, though. I can hardly even hear it when I'm outside. That is the realm of quietness, quiet community, not one with rabble-rousing, loud trucks, human noise. Julianne has a wonderful expression using the car theme that I was trying to get across here. She so captures it. The speeding through life, the traffic, the busyness, the need to go fast, to miss the little things along the way. Here's what she says. I want to take my foot off the accelerator pedal and be free to appreciate and enjoy everything at my pace. I want to be agile enough to be able to access my community. I want my home to be my comfortable and safe place with minimal maintenance. And she winds up with, it's the little things that create peace and harmony. And as for micro-environments, I could do less with the racket of family drama. I don't know about you, but sometimes that's a very noisy thing, if not in reality, in the brain. Peacefulness and quiet also meant to me in my inner spaces, the stillness of my soul. And maybe that's the hardest place to arrive at of all. Perhaps that's what we're all seeking in one way or another. There was a comment that made me want to laugh. Maybe it's just me, but I thought you'd want to hear it. This was Terry DeGraves, and I'm going to read it to you, at least partially. I find myself agreeing with all the comments. I would add clean, smelling good. Not like an old person smell. Ha ha. This cracked me up because I wasn't clear whether the home was supposed to smell good or the person. And of course, that's the point. I'd go visit my mother and her house smelled like an old lady. I swore I'd never want my house to be like that. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to smell like an old lady either. But here's where else it brings me. One thread that ran through the comments, parallel with the feelings that you have from your heart, your fears, your desires, your wishes, was a need to feel with the senses. The smell of a rose, a butterfly lighting on a leaf, the smell of soil and the feeling of it underfoot, the umbrella of a tree. I'm going to read you one such comment so you can catch my drift. Thank you, Marcy. I love my home. It's a roomy one-story for those bad knees. I have my library and a sewing room. Love my patio. Great for morning coffee and evening glass of wine. The sound of the fountain, the colors of my flowers, and the hummingbirds. I feel safe, especially knowing if I need help, my son lives less than 5 minutes away. The maintenance is minimal, and I can do it all myself. I'm happy and content. Finally, what I think we're all after in our homes, whether exactly or metaphorically, one viewer commented that she wanted room to dance, place to stretch and move. To me, this meant not just physically, but also an experience of spaciousness and aliveness in our senses. What do you think? I thought that was a magical way of looking at what we all need, personally, spiritually, in terms of our homes, the whole of it. As I wind up the comments here, there's one more in particular that I want everyone to hear. This one is about the word aging in place. I think we can all agree that thriving in place is really what we're after. But is it even that? This viewer puts the next challenge out there. I'm going to read it to you. See what you think. Thank you, Lady Time. She says, I love my little nest. And whenever I feel a little stuffy, I move things I have around with a little saging. And presto, I've been renewed. I never think about aging or aging in place. I live in the present. And don't worry too much about what other people are doing. I'm not worried about getting older. I'm 68. Tomorrow may never come, as no one is promised tomorrow. If I need something, I'll deal with that when I need it. Yeah, as I've learned by experience, the future may never come. So today is what counts for me, and I make sure all of the little things I surround myself with make my brain sparkle presently every day. Are you familiar with the series Anne of Green Gables? I watched it years ago on PBS or a show like that, and I've never forgotten it. It was something magical. To me, that's all about a child who didn't think she was going to have a home, getting a home, and what home means to her. We're having a brekkie intervention. And here's what Anne says at one point to Marilla when she finally figures out what home is, what loving looks like, what caring is, what to value in the place where you live. And when she gets it, this is what Anne says, and I'm going to read it to you. I believe the nicest and sweetest days are not those on which anything very splendid or wonderful or exciting happens, but just those that bring simple little pleasures, following one another softly, like pearls slipping off a string. I believe we arrived somewhere like that in our collection of wisdom, feelings, thoughts about aging in place. Have these shared experiences added to your sense of what you'd like to have happen as you grow older in your home? Put your thoughts in the comments. I hope you realize by now they're helpful to everyone. It takes a community to thrive in place. I think we can conclude that. And that's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll talk soon, all right? See you then.